My sister craved hot pot, so the entire family accompanied her. Over a trivial matter, she pointed at a server's nose and berated them. The server carried a pot of boiling water and splashed it toward her face. My sister yanked me in front of her. I was burned all over. Later, they wrote a letter of forgiveness for the server to play the Good Samaritans, then broke my legs and posted daily videos online. The more miserable I appeared, the more donations poured in. They tortured me to death. When I opened my eyes again, my sister was once more scolding a server. Instead of intervening, I hurried to the restroom. My biological father carried a pot of searing oil and dumped it over me. My mother and sister shackled my limbs with chains to keep me immobile. Sizzle, the stench of charred flesh filled the air. My skin instantly turned crimson, covered in massive blisters. I screamed in agony, weeping and begging for mercy. My sister grinned maliciously. "Sis, just endure it a bit. We'll make a fortune soon." My mother sighed softly. Who knew they'd love the tragic act? Burns weren't harrowing enough, nor was cutting out a tongue. "Good daughter, once we make 50 million more, we'll quit. Hold on a little longer." I screamed hoarsely, eyes blazing with hatred. This was my family, the ones I cherished above all. My father slapped me. "Your life belongs to me. So what if I poured oil? I didn't take your life. Stop your damn whining." I stared at him defiantly, desperate to crawl up and destroy them. "Bitch, how dare you glare at your father? I'll beat you to death." My dad grabbed a nearby stick and began thrashing me. The newly formed blisters burst into bloody pulp, splattering everywhere. The pain made it hard to breathe. My sister taunted smugly. "Sis, how can you glare at Dad? He gave you life. Can't you just be obedient?" I glared at them until my father beat me to death. Death was a release. I'd sacrifice anything to drag them to hell. If only I could send them to the underworld, I'd give everything. When I opened my eyes again, my sister was yelling at a server. Watching the bout server, I smiled. This time they'll pay. My sister Wu Jechi wore a look of sheer disdain. "Are you blind? Can't you see the soup's boiled dry? You get paid to do nothing. Bet I can get your boss to fire you." Wu Jechi had always been relentless, never one to back down. The server murmured an apology. "Excuse me, it's too busy now. I'll go to the kitchen to get the stock immediately," the server said. Wu Jechi let out a cold snort. "With your ability, you only deserve to be a server for life. You couldn't study well before, and now you can't even be a good server." She wore a look of full disdain, as if looking at garbage. The server glanced at Wu Jechi and turned to leave. Wu Jechi became annoyed and patted the table, asking the server to call their manager over. I knew that what would come next was not a manager, but a pot of boiling hot water. In my past life, Wu Jechi dragged me to stand in front of her, and my burn area reached 65%, with my entire face completely disfigured. While I was being rescued in the hospital, my so-called family ended a live broadcast in front of the whole network and gained countless people's sympathy. They became big internet celebrities. I looked up at the kitchen, and that server was slowly walking over. I smiled at my sister, picked up my phone beside me and said, "I'm going to the restroom." Wu Jechi curled her lips, covered her nose and looked full of disdain, as if she were a fairy who never defecated. I turned on the phone recording and quickly walked toward the restroom. Just as I reached the toilet door, I heard Wu Jechi's scream. So miserable. Louder than my screams in my past life. I didn't turn around immediately and calmly entered the restroom. "Wu Xiaoxi, come back quickly." It was my mother's cry. "What's the hurry? I still need to use the toilet. Help! Help! Murder!" Wu Jechi shouted hoarsely, and there was chaos outside. I splashed cold water on my face. "No rush, take it slow. The suffering I endured in my past life will be repaid to them one by one." I looked up at the mirror. The woman inside was beautiful, with a slight upward curve of her lips, but her eyes were full of venom. "Come out." Wu Jechi was wailing pitifully, while mother sat on that server and beat him fiercely. The manager kept apologizing to father. In the past life they hadn't been this agitated. At least the server hadn't been beaten then. They just kept clamoring for the hot pot restaurant to pay compensation. Seeing me approach, Wu Jechi picked up the hot pot basin and threw it at me, shouting loudly, "Wu Xiaoxi, why did you leave? Why am I the only one getting scalded?" "I don't agree." I quickly dodged to the side. "Who are you? Where did this ugly monster come from, daring to hurt people randomly? You must be crazy. I'll call the psychiatric hospital to arrest you." Finally, I could also scold her as an ugly monster. In the past, it had always been her beating and scolding me. I'd long guessed she wouldn't be reconciled, and I dodged smoothly. But the person behind me suffered misfortune. The boiling red hot pot soup was all spilled on an old lady. Ah, so painful. "Help!" She fainted as soon as she finished speaking. Two middle-aged women were following behind her. They shouted "Mom" loudly. Then one stayed to tend to the old man on the ground, and the other went to call her family. Moments later, 4 strong men appeared in front of Wu Jieqi. Wu Jieqi stepped back in fear repeatedly. Mom and Dad immediately stood in front of her, glaring at me viciously. Wu Jieqi shouted unwillingly, "Wu Xiaoxi, why did you dodge? It was clearly supposed to be you. It's all your fault. If you hadn't dodged, would she have gotten hurt?" He turned to the 4 strong men and said, "You make him pay. He is good-looking and can be sold for a lot of money." I am not surprised that Wu Jieqi said this. He is such a person. I replied indifferently, "I don't know this unrecognizable woman. I suggest you call the police immediately. By the way, there are surveillance cameras here and many people are recording the video. It is clear who splashed it. He, Wu Jieqi, can't deny it even if he wants to." Dad snorted coldly and Mom cried and said, "Dao Xiaoxi Chichi is already very pitiful. Can you help him once?" What a fart. I smiled all over my face. It is impossible that he has no good intentions. He deserves it. Just after I finished speaking, the ambulance outside came, and they hurried to the hospital. I didn't go with them. Even though my parents pointed at my nose and scolded me, I still didn't go. All I could see in my mind were the scenes of them tying me up, beating and scolding me. After feeding me sleeping pills, they started a live broadcast to show their pity. They showed all the burns on my body to netizens and received rewards from kind-hearted people. They also set up mini groups and posted my miserable condition every day. Those who couldn't stand it kept transferring money to them. People like them should never be approached at close range without some equipment. I asked the people who recorded the video one by one and asked them to forward one to me. It mainly showed the wonderful moment when Wu Jieqi splashed water on people. This time I wanted to see how they pretended to be pitiful. I bought 3 surveillance cameras and installed them in a hidden place in my home, then packed my luggage and went back. I have only half a year left at school and I am going to do an internship there. Both my parents know that I have decided to give up this job. While it is safer and cheaper at school, I will work hard to equip myself. I bought a bunch of protective equipment online and joined school clubs, one-on-one taekwondo and sanda. Just after I finished running, my mother called me and said, "Hey, your sister is in the people's hospital. Come quickly to help take care of her." She ordered me righteously. I looked up at the sky with indifference on my face. I couldn't help but think of my previous life, when I was alone in the hospital, and they were busy asking for compensation. They were reluctant to even hire a nurse. When I got to Wu Jieqi, everyone had to revolve around him. Seeing that I didn't reply, "Wu Xiaoxi, are you still a human being? Get a taxi here right now." I laughed out loud. Have you forgotten that he picked up the hot pot and poured it on me? I am not a saint. How could a saint take care of someone who wants to kill me? Wu Jieqi deserves it. Mom was angry. I heard the sound of a cup breaking. "Wu Xiaoxi, you are the elder sister. Can't you be more generous?" Chichi didn't mean it. She was just in a bad mood. This is the sentence I have heard countless times since I was a child. I replied indifferently. We are all human beings for the first time. Why should we give in to her? You are her biological mother. This is your responsibility. Take care of it yourself. Mom was breathing heavily on the other end of the phone. She breathed heavily, as if she had not expected that her well-behaved daughter would say such a thing. After a moment she said faintly, "I vaguely think your father is still in the police station. Can you help me get some toiletries?" No, I was scared by Wu Jieqi today. I don't want to see you now. I hung up the phone. They are not worthy of being parents at all. They have no credibility with me. When I saw them, I even wanted to kill them with my own hands. Half a month later, I heard from the surveillance that they wanted to marry me to a fool and use the 500,000 betrothal gift to wipe Wu Jieqi's ass. I wanted to run away, but I was unwilling. A plan flashed through my mind. The next day, the counselor found me in the taekwondo club. "Your parents are in at the school gate. They looked very anxious, as if they had something important to talk to you about. No one answered your call, so hurry over to check on them." I didn't expect them to come so quickly. I nodded obediently. After sending the counselor away, I finished my taekwondo class and then walked out slowly. The 2 were very bad. I had anti-wolf spray and an arc stick in my pocket just in case. At the school gate, my parents' faces were full of anger. They had been waiting for more than an hour and were already very impatient. When they saw me come out, they immediately put on awkward smiles on their faces. I looked at them indifferently through the gate. My mother said softly, "We're here to take you home. You're making me laugh to death. It's time to have a home." I shook my head. I'm about to graduate. It's time. I am writing my graduation thesis and need to go to the library to look up a lot of literature. I really don't have time to go back. My father glared at me and raised his hand to hit me. "Wu Xiaoxi, do you believe I will beat you to death?" "I believe you. Wasn't she beaten to death by him in her previous life? What can't a person like her do?" Mom held her back and said, I know you are still blaming Jejia. You are all my daughters. I can't bear to see anyone get hurt. Jejia's burns are very serious and she is disfigured. Just forgive her." "How can I forgive them?" "I won't forgive any of them," I said coldly. "She didn't splash it on me. What's there to forgive or not? She's just a stranger. What does he do to me?" Dad outside the school gate. My mother's face turned ugly in an instant. My father raised his hand again. This time my mother didn't stop me and quickly hid behind. "Now that I am 18 years old, you don't have to support me anymore. When you are old, I will give you the most basic alimony. As for Wu Jiechi, I don't have any responsibility or obligation to him. My father was almost mad. He swiped his ID card to enter the school gate and ran towards me quickly. My mother shouted from behind, Don't provoke your dad. He has high blood pressure, hee. If I can provoke him to death, I will wake up with laughter in my dreams. In the past half month, I have run more than 20 laps around the playground every day. I will outrun him to death today. After running for a few minutes, my father shouted from behind, the classmate in front, he is a thief, help me stop him, this man is still so shameless. I replied loudly, I am Wu Xiaoxi, a senior student in the Department of Business Administration, the person behind is a human trafficker. Everyone help me call the police. 2 classmates nearby recognized me, she is Senior Wu, everyone please help catch the human trafficker. The alumni with a sense of justice immediately stopped. The man, my dad's eyes were red with anger, I am his father, his biological father. The classmates around were unhappy, they said one after another, who said that his daughter is the thief's biological father? He must be lying, this man has a fierce look in his eyes. He is not a good person at first glance, my God. He actually has a fruit knife in his pocket, everyone be careful. I didn't expect him to carry a fruit knife with him at all times, probably to pay for it, it's so cruel. Am I really his biological daughter? I don't believe there is such a father. Dad glared at me. He is my daughter. I must take him home today. I was too lazy to pay attention to him and looked at the schoolmates beside him. Classmates, please check if he has any other dangerous things on him. This is a school. I am worried about your safety. The classmates are very helpful. They found a handkerchief and a bottle of transparent liquid in minutes. Dad struggled hard, his face was full of anger. You are committing a crime. I will sue you and your school and let the school expel you all. He was threatening everyone present. I snorted coldly. This is a school. You have dangerous items on you. You are a dangerous person, we are doing good things for the society. At this time, a classmate who was very curious picked up the handkerchief and smelled it. Not long after, he felt dizzy and then fell to the ground. If the classmate next to him had not caught him in time, he would have fallen all over the place. The classmate fainted and my father panicked. While everyone was still surprised, he broke free from the people who stopped him. I quickly shouted to the classmates, he is going to run, catch him quickly. The man who had just run a few steps was caught again, this time he was pinned down. Just as I was about to pull him out of the school, my mother came. He looked at me viciously and said, Wu Xiaoxi, are you still a human being? He is your father and you treat him like this? He turned to the classmate who was pinning my father down. The student yelled, let my husband go quickly or I will make you pay. I warn you, we are old and can't stand your torture. I have to say that what my mother said threatened the classmates. In today's society, the most feared thing is to be blackmailed by the elderly. No matter how much money the family has, it is not enough for them to blackmail. I said coldly that they are bad people, we are doing this for justice. There are so many witnesses, can they turn the world upside down with just a few words? If something really happens to them, I am responsible. The college student's sense of justice erupted again, and several girls took my mother into custody. My parents scolded even more harshly, but the classmates began to reason with them, and even brought up Marxism-Leninism and Mao Zedong thought. My parents were furious. He just glared at me from time to time. After leaving the school gate, 2 policemen came over. Dad panicked. He winked at me. I smiled. You even brought a fruit knife and you still want me to say something good. He is dreaming. I briefly explained the situation. The police glanced at my parents coldly. They didn't recognize me. My mother shouted that the police comrade was wronged. She is our daughter, how could we hurt him? Dad's face was full of anger. This is our family affair. None of you can interfere. I choked and said to the police uncle, they want to sell me to Myanmar. I'm so scared, I don't think they are my biological parents, can you help me check? My parents were stunned for a moment. A trace of panic flashed in their eyes. There was indeed a problem, no wonder she was so cruel to me. My mother pointed at my nose and scolded, Wu Xiaoxi. Do you have a conscience? We have raised you for more than 20 years, and you treat us like this. You are an ungrateful person who will definitely go to hell. They beat me to death and that's what they call having a conscience. They are the ones who should go to hell. No matter how they argue, we took out a fruit knife, drugged and went to the police station together. My parents still wanted to quibble, but unfortunately a group of college students testified. They were all taken into a small dark room and interrogated separately. The impact of this incident was very bad. Many classmates watched and countless videos were posted online. The police station must deal with it seriously. I wiped my tears and analyzed the reasons why they were not my biological parents bit by bit. In the end afterwards they also took out the video of Wu Jiechi pouring hot pot. The 3 people cursed very badly at that time, and there was no family affection at all. Although a paternity test can prove it, I want to know more. After more than 2 hours my father was detained directly. He took all the responsibility for today's incident on himself, and they seemed to have a unified story about my life experience. They picked it up from the garbage dump but I didn't believe it. As soon as I got out of the police station my mother grabbed me. Oh no, now it's my adoptive mother Gao Shufan. Her face was full of flattery. Hey mom, please write a letter of understanding, okay? I laughed softly. I don't have a mother, I am an orphan. How have you treated me all these years? Where did you get it from? They asked me to write a letter of apology. They asked me to be humble since I was a child. I did all the housework in my sister's house. I didn't want any food or clothes from my sister. I lived like a dog. I started working part-time in high school, and most of the money I earned was taken away by them. I secretly worked as a tutor in college and saved a little money. Gao Shufan was stunned for a moment, then forced an awkward smile. It was snowing on the night of Chinese Valentine's Day. If we hadn't picked you up, you would have died long ago. We have raised you for decades. Even if you have no merits, you have worked hard. Just write a letter of apology. It's impossible that I would not write a letter of apology to him, even if you beat me to death. Seeing that I didn't say anything, Gao Shufan knelt on the ground with a bang, quickly dodged. After dying once, I'm afraid that he will shorten my life, Gao Shufan cried and said. The Qin family asked us to pay 500,000 yuan, and Jiajia's plastic surgery requires 1 million yuan. Your father is the pillar of the family, we can't do without him. Plastic surgery is wishful thinking. They never mentioned the word plastic surgery in their previous life. I said coldly, just sell the house, it's not that we can't afford it. Gao Shufan shook her head vigorously and said, no, that's our lifeblood, we can't sell it even if we die, so just sell me. It's really hypocritical. I looked at him with a smile and said, then let Wu Jieqi become a big internet celebrity. He is so miserable. There must be someone willing to donate money. Gao Shufan's eyes lit up and she asked anxiously, how can I become a big internet celebrity? I laughed. This time I want to see whether they choose my daughter or money, I said with a smile. Post the burns on his body online, the worse the better. If you want to become famous faster, write a letter of apology to the waiter. Gao Shufan lowered her head in thought. I turned and left. Based on my understanding of them, Wu Jieqi will definitely become an internet celebrity. These are what they did in their previous lives. Finally, it is Wu Jieqi's turn to enjoy it. I just returned to school not long ago when Gao Shufan called me. How come you run so fast? You have a good brain. Come back quickly to help us and see if what he said is true. If you have any shame, you can still have a good ending if you are pulled back, I replied indifferently. No, Wu Jieqi is very smart, he knows what to do. By the way, since we are not related by blood, don't contact me in the future. Hearing what I said, the other side jumped up and down again. Gao Shufan pointed at my nose and scolded me for half an hour. She said all kinds of ugly things. I listened obediently, showing surprise, sadness and sorrow from time to time. Seeing that he had almost finished scolding, I said faintly, I originally wanted to write a letter of understanding to Wu Jianjun, but after listening to you scolding for so long, I figured it out. You bad guys don't deserve it. Seeing my forgiveness, Gao Shufan was silent for a moment, and then screamed in shock. I was wrong, I was just blinded by lard, I should slap myself twice. Okay? Will you forgive me? I heard 2 slaps from the opposite side, and I didn't know whether it was real or fake. Gao Shufan choked with sobs. You are such a good person, you will definitely forgive us, come back and we will be big internet celebrities together. The moment they cut off my tongue in my previous life, I didn't want to be a good person anymore. I've had enough of being a tool man who was beaten and scolded by them. No, you still let Wu Jieqi be the big internet celebrity, isn't she disfigured? It's miserable enough. He accidentally poked Gao Shufan's lung again. He shouted angrily, Wu Xiaoxi, you bitch, you will not die well. After hanging up the phone, I turned on the surveillance. Gao Shufan was sulking on the sofa. He said viciously, I will go to the school again tomorrow and must trick him back home, disfigure his face, and let him become a big internet celebrity. Wu Jieqi wore a hat and a mask, revealing only a pair of cold eyes. Why can he go to school well? How can he live better than me? He must be worse than me. Mom, I am not reconciled. I want to kill him. Gao Shufan hugged him in her arms and patted his back gently. Jia, don't worry. As long as we make him miserable, he can make money to give you plastic surgery and buy you a big villa. Wu Jieqi said coldly, I don't want to hear his voice. Trick him back tomorrow, cut off his tongue first. It turns out that in my previous life they cut off my tongue for this reason. I knew they were bad, but I still broke out in a cold sweat. I wanted to take the surveillance to the police, but at most they could only give them a warning. The main reason Wu Jiangwo was detained today was the drug. We need to investigate the source of the drug. As for the others, after all, they did not cause much harm. The police can't do anything to them. I checked my bank card and the total amount was 5,526 yuan. After careful consideration, I decided to run away. In fact, if I had money, I would have run away the moment I was reborn. It was all because of poverty. The Taekwondo and Sanda classes were priced at friendship prices given by alumni. Otherwise, I couldn't even afford to sign up. I went to the counselor to explain the situation today, and also revealed some of the things at home. The counselor sighed and said, don't worry, this is a school. They can't bully my students. I was disfigured in my previous life. The counselor brought my classmates to see me. He encouraged me to get out of the shadows, but unfortunately I didn't even step out of the door. My eyes were red. Teacher Lee, I don't want to get entangled with them anymore. After all, they have raised me for more than 20 years. No matter what, I am the junior and cannot win. Outsiders will definitely say that they have a hard time. Let me be more generous. After all, my waist won't hurt when I talk while standing. As long as they pretend to be pitiful, everyone will sympathize with the weak. I saw through all this in my previous life. The counselor told me to leave with peace of mind. He would take care of the school's affairs. He gave me a big hug. I packed my luggage and left overnight. I took the train to Chengdu and then took a bus to Guiyang. In order to find a place with food and accommodation as quickly as possible, I went straight into the site to screw in the screws. Don't say I was grateful. I felt pretty good, at least no one was around to scold me for being ungrateful. My mom went to the school to look for me several times, but all to no avail. He found the counselor and made a scene, asking him for my release with confidence. Teacher Lee said nothing and called the police directly. You can't get rid of some people, you say one thing and they won't repeat it for half an hour. The police called me and I cried and said, they want to sell me. Don't I run away and wait for them to sell me? I don't like them, I even hate them. They raised me, but I never said I wouldn't provide for them in their old age. I'm already 18 years old and can choose my own life. Gao Shufan is at the people beside me scolded me, and even the police couldn't stop them. I raised my lips and said in a cold voice, look at what such parents are doing when they go back home. I'm not a masochist, I'm a living person. After hanging up the phone, I went out to eat a hot pot to celebrate. A week later, I saw a video of Wu Jieqi pretending to be pitiful on the internet. In the end they chose money. In the video, Wu Jieqi showed most of her burns which looked horrible. She cried like a pear blossom in the rain and slowly recounted what happened. In the end, she asked everyone if they wanted to write a letter of understanding to the waiter. Netizens sympathized with Wu Jieqi while scolding the waiter. The video became an instant hit, gaining over 200,000 followers overnight. Not bad, I couldn't help but give him a thumbs up. He said he must stand higher so that it would hurt more if he fell. The next day, Wu Jieqi wrote a letter of apology on a live broadcast, crying while writing, and also posted his Alipay account, hoping that netizens would donate. Gao Shufan whispered beside him that it was not easy, and also told me that Wu Jiangwo came to find me but was sent to the police station by me. Of course he didn't tell me about the drugs and the fruit knife. He just said that he wanted me to go back to accompany Wu Jieqi, but was misunderstood and sent to the police station. Every word he said was to trick me, and netizens were led by him. One more person was cyberbullied. I was really great. I wanted to let them be happy for a while, but now there is no need. 2 days later, I heard that they gave the letter of understanding to the waiter and the donation reached more than 2 million, which was enough for them to drink a pot of water. I immediately posted the video of Wu Jieqi scolding the waiter, and the video of him pouring hot pot soup base on people from behind, with the caption, there must be something hateful about pitiful people. I bought 1,000 yuan of traffic and commented under Wu Jieqi's video to attract traffic. Soon the video I posted also became popular, and Wu Jieqi was scolded badly under the video. Netizens they hated the liars who treated them like fools. Wu Jieqi cried and said that it was not him, it must be a video synthesized by AI, he was innocent, and he guessed that it was the waiter who did it. After all, he had just sent out the letter of apology and the video came out. If it wasn't him, then who could it be? Gao Shufan wiped her tears and asked everyone, we don't want to be good people anymore. Can we get the letter of apology back? The attitude of netizens changed again after this video. Half of the people still support them, a small part is skeptical, and the rest are scolding them for pretending to be innocent. I don't understand what they are struggling with. There were not just 1 or 2 people who took the video. I have videos from 5 or 6 angles. Maybe they think netizens are too stupid and whoever is miserable is right. After all, everyone will sympathize with the weak. I uploaded 2 videos from other angles and wrote, is AI so smart now that it can even change the angle? Before I could post a few more articles, the waiter showed up and directly used the surveillance camera of the hot pot restaurant. He also posted several WeChat chat records, which were all records of Wu Jieqi threatening him. At the end, there were several 60-second voice messages, which were all Wu Jieqi's personal attacks on the waiter. I would rather go to jail than be insulted by him. I have a bad temper, but the person who should be dragged is the one who should be dragged. Wu Jieqi can't explain this even if he opens 10 mouths. I sent a message to the counselor, saying that the video of Wu Jiangwo causing trouble at school can be posted online. He had wanted to post it a long time ago and I asked him to wait. Not long after, videos of Wu Jiangwo and Gao Shufan causing trouble at school appeared online like mushrooms after rain. Many students recorded the video at that time, and there were videos from all angles. Some students also expressed their opinions at the end. The drugs and fruit knives were the key points. There were students who were knocked unconscious in every video, and they also talked about their personal experiences. Finally, netizens were warned to be careful when going out, even with their relatives. Be careful. The counselor also sent a video. He said that Wu Xiaoxi is an outstanding student of our school. We will try our best to protect his safety. The news from the police station is that Wu Xiaoxi is not their biological child. They picked him up from the garbage dump. They came to the school this time to knock him out. 500,000 yuan was sold to a fool. Wu Jieqi panicked. She stood on the rooftop and started a live broadcast. Gao Shufan cried with swollen eyes. She kept persuading Wu Jieqi to think more positively. He wanted to prove his innocence with his death. I don't believe it. He just wants everyone to compromise. Even if he is wrong, you have to forgive him. Otherwise he is the murderer who forced him to death, Wu Jieqi said to the live broadcast. Can't you just believe me? Do you think you will believe me only after I die? Half of the comments were scolding him and asking him to jump. Many netizens no longer believed him. Wu Jieqi cried very sadly. If my death can make you happy, then I'm going to die, okay? How could Gao Shufan let him die? She wiped her tears and said in a choked voice, let me die if you want to die. I'm 48 years old this year. I've lived enough. You're only 18 years old. You haven't been in a relationship or a mother yet. Your life has just begun. Wu Jieqi shook her head. Her face was full of tears. Her disfigured face looked extremely terrifying. It had to be said that she acted very realistically, and there was little truth to her words. Some netizens sympathized with him and found many excuses for him, such as his straightforward personality and no bad intentions, and that consumers are God, and scolding the service staff was a big mistake. What's wrong with the waiter? For example, he is still young, and disfigurement is already a punishment for him. We should give him a chance to reform. Wu Jieqi cried even harder when he saw the comments. He said pitifully, Yes, I scolded the waiter. He didn't add soup for a whole half hour. Couldn't I say a few words? Should we, consumers, be splashed with boiling water by the waiter? What's wrong with me? The mistake was that I shouldn't have gone to the kitchen to boil water myself. When the netizens heard this, it seemed that what Wu Jechi said was quite right. He just had a bad temper and it was nothing. Instantly, most of the comments area became supportive of him. Netizens said, Wu Jechi's performance was really successful this time. Not long after, the police came and brought Wu Jiangwo with them. A few days later, they saw that the man had lost a lot of weight. It seems that life in the detention center is not so easy. Wu Jiangwo almost cried. He trembled in his voice. Jia, you hurry up. Come down, Dad can't lose you. Netizens are just wallflowers, they don't know anything, they open their mouths and talk nonsense. The netizens who were implied didn't dare to shoot. They are indeed wallflowers. Wu Jechi looked at the comments. He became bolder, crying and talking about his grievances. His tears were almost dry. He wiped his eyes with his hands and suddenly became tearful again. From what I know about him, he must have hidden something in his hands. No wonder his acting is so good. The police explained on the side. Wu Jiangwo was detained to help us catch people. Now that the factory making drugs has been shut down, it is considered that his merits and demerits offset each other, and he can go home. Here I would like to remind all netizens that if they knowingly buy it despite knowing it is against the law, it constitutes the crime of selling stolen goods. According to Article 312 of the criminal law, knowing that it is the proceeds of crime and the income generated by it, but harboring, transferring, purchasing, selling on behalf of others, or using other means, anyone who conceals the crime by any means shall be sentenced to fixed-term imprisonment of not more than 3 years, criminal detention or public surveillance, and shall be fined or fined alone. In serious cases, he shall be sentenced to fixed-term imprisonment of not less than 3 years but not more than 7 years, and shall be fined. I found out about this yesterday. The police informed me. Wu Jiangwo is lucky. It's good that he got out. There's no point in staying in prison for a while. It won't cause much harm to him. Wu Jiangwo was ashamed and bowed to the netizens. I am not worthy of being Jiajia's father. I didn't educate him well. If I have to die, I should die. I just hope that everyone can be more tolerant of him. He is only 18 years old and still a child. Gao Shufan was crying and wanted to die beside her. These 3 people were like performing a big drama. They only said it with their mouths, but their bodies were extremely honest. But netizens didn't understand. They made excuses for their previous actions, and finally gave them a lot of gifts to comfort them. The performance of these 3 people very successful. Wu Jechi's fans exceeded 10 million, and his notes had an additional Alipay account. After they turned off the live broadcast, I turned on the surveillance and sure enough they came back after a while. Gao Shufan was very proud. This is a good idea, isn't it? I came up with it. The live broadcast just now received nearly 1 million gifts, and there are idiots who keep transferring money to the Alipay account. Wu Jechi hurried to wash her hands. She forced a terrifying smile. Fortunately, there are onions, otherwise I really can't cry. If it weren't for my great acting skills, would they stand on our side? Wu Jiangwo laughed. Not bad, not bad. My daughter is still smart, but I want Wu Xiaoxi to die. This bitch actually dared to do this to me. If the fortune teller hadn't said that Yang Zi would bring a child, how could I raise her? I have raised her for more than 20 years. What's wrong with letting her marry a fool? Gao Shufan nodded repeatedly. Okay, let's make tens of millions more and sell Wu Xiaoxi to Myanmar. Then we'll go abroad and have fun. That's right, Chinese netizens are too easy to fool. I pretended to be pitiful and got a few million. I feel like it's no problem to cheat a few 100 million. Looking at the waiter who lowered his head, I laughed. In my voice message, which was only 3 minutes long, the most words were insulting netizens. I don't know if the netizens who are fence-sitters will be angry. I posted a message in the comment section with a screenshot of a transfer record of 1,000 yuan, and the caption was, "So you are such people. This is illegal fundraising. The police have been notified." Soon the video became popular, and those who donated posted screenshots in the comment section, saying they would sue them. Wu Jechi's video was full of insults. After all, no one wants to be a fool. The 3 panicked and quickly posted a video saying that the voice was synthesized. They were very pitiful. The family misunderstood them, but this time no one believed it anymore. Everyone matched the voice in the hot pot restaurant, and it turned out to be their family. Wu Jechi went crazy at home, and Gao Shufan called the police, saying that someone broke into their home. Otherwise, how did the voice come from? Soon the police arrested them all, not because they called the police, but because countless netizens sued them for fundraising fraud. This time Gao Shufan and Wu Jechi were locked up, and Wu Jiangwo was released because he did not participate. When Wu Jiangwo was smashing things at home, someone entered the house, and before he could react, he was covered with his mouth and dragged to the toilet. The man said sinisterly, "Damn it, because of you my boss went to jail and all our money was taken away. Now I can't even support my wife and son. I'm going to kill you." Wu Jiangwo died and was chopped into pieces and thrown into the sewer. If the pipe downstairs hadn't been blocked, he might not have been discovered. Wu Jechi was crazy and looked very abnormal. He was sent to a mental hospital. But later, the waiter went to work in the mental hospital. I went to see him once. He was really crazy. A 200-pound fat man with a terrifying face that could scare ghosts. He had many new and old scars on his body. When he saw people, he would shrink in a corner and keep saying, "I was wrong, I was really wrong, I would never dare to do it again." I felt relieved to see him like this. Gao Shufan was sentenced to 15 years in prison. All their money was frozen, not a penny left. I can finally go to work quietly and go home safely. The police contacted me and said that they had found my biological parents. But I think it's good to be alone and don't want to be too involved. I think it will be difficult for me to trust someone again.